Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Woohoo! Today I will be streaming the last day of the round robins for the EU server, the last round even. It's gotta be tight because for both groups it's still like pretty open what can happen and who's going to take the top, so that's gonna be definitely interesting to see. I've got the room invite now so I can take you here, but first some house cleaning. There is a 3-minute delay on the stream. That is to avoid any stream sniping happening, meaning that people can't see each other's lineups. There are no rewards for watching this stream aside from the epic gameplay that you get to see. And yeah, we're just going to have fun with it. Also, by the way, you're free to speak your language in the chat as long as you're polite and civil. Just basically, if you have any questions for me, you will have to ask them in English because otherwise I will not be able to understand you. So this is the scoreboard for Group 2. We have TQT and Aqua both with 5 points, Ikra and Raid with 4, Serenity with 3, Quick with 2, SPNX with 1 and Bad with 0. Then in Group 1 we've got Appa with 6 points. They're the only one that are like totally safe to go through. They're through to the top 4 by definite. And then we have Hapki and Rejects that both have 4 points. We have Pink and Isra with 3 points, Pog with 2, Unlucky with 1 and Zenith with 1. So yeah, there's still a lot riding on today. I mean, 3 places for the final stages are up for grabs, so it's definitely going to be exciting. Let's have a look. I will be streaming Serenity versus TQT today, so that's going to be epic as well, because basically if TQT wins, then they are definitely through. And Serenity is definitely out, so there is no real pressure for them anymore. But basically in Group 2, people aren't quite safe yet. So, like I said, there's a lot of pressure today, a lot hanging on. What's a lot riding on, that's the word I was looking for, on what might happen tonight. And even if the games end quickly, I hope not. I hope for tiebreakers and long and tactical games and everything. But even if the games were to end quickly, I will be filling the time with replays until we know for sure what all the other scores is, so that we know who is through to the top 4. So we're in the room now because it's below 3 minutes, which means that people won't be able to see the lineup before we enter the battle. And we have TQT now ready with 2 IS-7s, 1 E5, 6 CTP, 2 Super Conquerors and an IS-4. And they're going to go up against 2 Kranwagens, 3 Steves, an IS-4, a Kranwagen and an LT for Serenity. We're heading off to Black Goldville, which is always a bit of an interesting map, mainly because of the whole line of fire that you get across the width of it. Basically, there's like a lot of open space, but there's also a lot of fire lines from one side of the map to the other. I'm also having difficulties finding words. That's going to be very interesting to commentate as well. But I'll try my best. We'll see how it goes. But for the most part, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, because this is definitely exciting. 1.5 minutes left before we actually go into the match. This is always like the empty space. I've kept saying it before, like I would like it if there was like a button that both captains can press, but like we're definitely ready. We can enter the battle, and then if both are ready, then you just go. But I do get, like, when the room is first open, that there's a 5-minute thing. It gives people the time to arrive and to make sure that their connection is stable and just select the tanks and everything. It's sort of like things start to get serious when you get into the room. I mean, it's the same for me as a streamer. I'm still babbling, but like I sort of go into battle mode. I'm not sure if you can call it that, but when I play tours, which isn't often to be fair, but when I play tours, it's the same thing. Like when the room is up, I'm going to get serious. And I reckon that that's the same for these guys. For any tour player, really, that is taking it half seriously. Half a minute left to go. And then we get to see what's going to happen tonight. Only one match up. It is the best of 7, meaning that the first team that goes to 4 victories will be the one that takes home the point. For Serenity, it will be a point for honor. For TQT, their top 4 place is depending on it. Or is likely depending on it. Because there's like a lot of scenarios with possible tiebreakers. Depending on if that person wins this and if that person wins that. That team, I should say, not person. So yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Up, up and away. We have the Super Conqueror and the IS-7 both heading towards the middle or sea area. Serenity is splitting up a little bit with the Kranwagen going into the middle. Probably going to take the rock there. He gets spotted. We already have a line of fire. Nico taking a little bit of damage. Classical, however, is going into the base. The Sylph is actually functioning as a spotter here. They don't know who's in base B though. Tacos taking some hits. Nicolade as well. Rumpelstiltskin. Which is still, I'm very sure that that's not how you pronounce it, but Classical going up. This is weird, look at that. The circle shows red, but it's actually blue. Not sure what's up with that. Classical taking a little bit of a bleed. TQT having 2 bases right now, despite the weird circle color. The Silva taking a little bit of a hit. People do get spotted. Destined Liberty bleeding a little bit as well. But it will be up to Serenity to make a move and take a base. But at the same time, both bases are very well protected. Base B is not open for the taking. And neither is base C. Da Silva takes another hit. Has to be more careful. At the same time, TQT is just dominating the map here. And this is the play I mean. I say that as Rumpelstiltskin, which is probably wrong. I need to ask how that is actually pronounced, to be honest. But that is always what I read there. Alpha taking some damage. There's like a lot of crossfire happening. But at the same time, they're just bleeding each other. They're not actually really farming each other. Alpha now taking another hit. Al Capone is still behind the building there, not peeking out. TQT is content to just wait. The thing is now, with Alpha and Da Silva both relatively low on HP, it will be difficult for Serenity to commit to a push. Rumpelstiltskin takes a hit. 71 HP into Ushel. We're at 850 points. Serenity has to make a move. They have to try. But Da Silva is low on HP. Spitfire is taking hits. Da Silva is almost gone. Classical is being the focus fire. But Da Silva goes down first. 970 points. They are taking base B. The question is, will it be enough? Because Classical is still alive. 985. Destiny is almost gone. One more kill and there you go. Destiny and Destined Liberty and Spitfires all go down. But it's not no time for Serenity anymore. The first match is for TQT. Well played here. Well dominated basically by TQT. The map dominance here made all the difference. Taking that base B early without being decapped. And of course the seaside. And then just holding, bleeding the other team. Forcing Serenity to react. Let's have a look. I didn't know that iShot was streaming this as well. 1 minute 20 seconds left before we go into the second game of this best of 7. No room pressure just yet, of course. No match point. And we have TQT now getting ready with an IS-7, a Steve, a a 60 GP, an E5, an IS4, a Super Conqueror, and a Sheridan. That is 7 different tanks. We do not see that very often. And on Serenity's side, we see 2 Kranwagens, 2 Steves, a Sheridan, potentially not a Kranwagen, and an E5, but they might be changing things around. There we go, 3 Steves now. Ushel, unreadying. And now we have 4 Serenity, 1 Sheridan, 3 Steves, 2 Kranwagens, and an IS4. Actually, like, I've mentioned this before, but I actually really like the fact that there's multiple tanks being chosen now. It's no longer just Type 71 spam. It's no longer Kranwagen spam, which was like a few seasons before the Type 71 and everything. No longer the Yo spam and everything. It's just like, there's a lot of different tanks and a lot of different combinations that can actually work. And here we go. Into the second game. Everything is still open for most groups. The only one safe for the final stages is APA. And let's have a look. TQT splitting up, but keeping their forces on the BC side. And we have Days. He's spotting Classical. Classical does not take a hit, does not spot anyone either though. So he's being very careful. The Silva has been spotted. No base has been captured yet. Rumpelstiltskin spotted as well. Does get shot at. Sorry. Base C now being kept. Rumpelstiltskin not going for B. A is also being kept. Da Silva and Rumpelstiltskin spotting each other here. No damage has been done. Slight HP advantage for Serenity, but only ever so slight. Just like there's a small point advantage for TQT here. First blood has been drawn, even if it was very little. That's a bit more blood. Nicolay taking a hit. Nicolay might have to be careful now. Orca taking it as well. And Serenity is basically put on the back foot here. They're being forced to be defensive. This is not really the Serenity that I'm familiar with. They're now stacking their tanks back. The reason I say I'm not familiar with it, because I'm not used to Serenity handing control of the battle to another team, let's say. Yeah, that's I think the best way to describe it. El Capone and Ushel are spotted. They are aware though. Shots happening, tackles losing a lot of HP and more. Manages to arrive alive, but only just. Base B now being kept by Serenity. Base A is going to get kept as well. Classical is hightailing it out of there. Whereas more tanks are arriving. Tackles is still alive somehow. Does get taken out now. Alpha being pushed. We have Days going after Classical. Lots of HP being lost. Alpha surrounded by tanks here, being pretty much bullied. Rumpelstiltskin has been taken out though. There goes Alpha. And now Destiny is next in line to get demolished. He actually tracks him, which is a good thing. B has been taken, but A has been kept as well. Destiny goes down to Destin Liberty. Orca goes. Ushel is gone. Nicolade tries to stay alive a little bit longer. There goes Days. Da Silva Can't really do much there either. There's just too many guns against them right now. Nicolade, almost gone, gets hugged to death. Second one that happens to. And Da Silva gets to survive. But the game is for TQT. Relatively quick game, relatively brutal game as well though. Again, TQT dominating the map and forcing Serenity to do something. We are going to a different map now. Which hopefully leads to a reset in the mind of Serenity as well. Because there's no real match point just yet. Anything can still happen. But being 2-0 down is probably not a good feeling. Because that makes it all the harder to get back on your feet. And let's see. For Castilla, we now see TQT getting ready with 2 60Ps, 2 Concept 1Bs, 2 LTs, and a Super Conqueror. Versus 1 60TP, 2 E5s, a Sheridan, 2 Steves, and an LT. And let's see. I still like... I ranted about this before. I don't like meta tanks being behind a paywall. At the same time, I do believe that most teams have at least a fair share of Steves at their disposal. And that makes it a little less bad. But I'm never a big fan of premiums or collectibles being meta. But here we go. Countdown clock has begun. We are going to Castilla. Can Serenity pull this back? We've seen phenomenal things from Serenity previous seasons. We know how epic they are. I know it's in them. It just needs to come out. And let's have a look. I do like that raiding camo. That's actually like... It kind of looks like honeycomb. And there's actually like a disorder where people can't stand those shapes. So I can imagine some people switching off their camo to not be able to see this camo in game. Because it would drive them nuts. Nicolade in the Sheridan heading towards the Citadel. The LT and the E5s. Orca getting spotted. Manages to not get hit for that though. Nicolade also spotted. Did shoot but did not pen. And now we have Da Silva going for a cheeky B cap by the looks of it. And he might get away with that. Nicolade has been hit. Is retreating there. Pretty much leaving base B open. Da Silva is actually getting shot at. But manages to cap that. And the cap colors are definitely... like the cap circles are the wrong color. I need to tell Tolyan about that later. It's not a big bug. It's just a little visual bug. But it's a weird one. Da Silva retreating below the bridge. And we have Performers getting shot from the other side. A little bit of bleeding going on. Da Silva so far lost the most HP. We have Orca retreating now. Ashol holding. Being looked at by Daze. Destiny Liberty and El Capone. Sorry, Destiny, not Destiny Liberty. Destiny Liberty is hanging out elsewhere. Destiny Liberty is... There he is, near base A. The thing is, they haven't capped a base yet. They had complete control of base A. But they've not capped it. And this gives Serenity a growing point advantage. Because they kept the blue circle B base. And now Serenity has the control. This is the Serenity that I know. They're comfortably farming and bleeding and repositioning and making it work. They know performance is still there. Orca getting spotted, drops down immediately. Nico losing a bit more HP there. In a tricky position. Nicolate holding the Citadel. Performance peeking out. Getting punished for that. Destiny now taking some damage as well. Serenity is content to hold. They don't need to do anything. They have an ever-growing point advantage that's currently 260 points in the lead. They can wait patiently. It's now more about keeping the tanks alive, not losing too much HP, and preparing for the push that will happen some point, somewhere. Destiny is pulling out of there, making sure that they stay alive. Alpha is spotted. Does land a shot there, but doesn't actually hit it. Destiny Liberty now stays spotted for a further 20 seconds, and that's always useful information. And now we have TQT. They're still holding. We're now at 660 points for Serenity. And they will have to cap bases or make a push. Rumpelstiltskin now actually going into the base, grabbing base A. Base C is too well protected, but we have Classical in the middle who might go for a cheeky cap if he gets away with it. Daze now going back, still careful to hold there. Classical is there ready to cap. We have Destiny who's returned. And El Capone pulls back. But he's returned because if Classical actually goes into the base, he might be able to shoot him. 760 points now for Serenity. There's not that much time left. Now base B is being spotted. Tackles not going for the base, for the anti-base cap. Now he's been spotted. El Capone pushing, losing HP. Performance losing a lot of HP here. They're trying again to get base B. Destiny Liberty has to be careful. Tackles is not too healthy either though. And they are in the spawn. Rumpelstiltskin. El Capone is gone. Performance is still alive, if barely. Rumpelstiltskin. Now we have Orca moving in. They need to take the kills. Classical is gone. Base B stays theirs. We now have Orca moving in. Needing one more shot to kill Destiny Liberty. And that will secure it more. Nico and Oshel are all gone. This is Serenity's game. Quite convincingly. Performance. He is still alive, but barely. And he gets taken out. And that seals it. Rumpelstiltskin stays alive. Manages to escape with his life. But the match is for Serenity. Very well played here. This is what I meant. Like, this steady, patient Serenity is more the Serenity that I'm used to. Score is 2-1. Again, anything can still happen. Serenity, unfortunately, Matthias asked in the chat if Serenity still has a chance to go through. It's actually top 4 from here on out. They don't have a chance for that. Serenity is definitely out. It's only the top 2 of each group that go through. Which is sad, to be honest. But yeah. Groups, basically the teams that reach top 4 do change. But you always grow to have a bit of favorites, basically. And Serenity, the way that they play is something that I really appreciate. It's aesthetically pleasing, let's put it that way. It's just nice to watch the team play in the focus fire and everything. That being said, though, there's been quite some new strong teams on the EU server, and I really like that as well. Because TQT, they're wonderful to look at as well. So for the next game on Castilla, we now see TQT taking 2 IS7s, 2 E5s, a 1-1B, a Super Conqueror and an LT versus 1 IS7, 2 Kranwagens, 2 Steves, an E5 and a Type 71. There is no fast tank there. That's interesting. Because I do think that the LTs played a good role last game. Just for the spot, but also keeping people spotted. Keeping them with that spotting mechanic that the LT has. That can be so useful on maps like this, where you can get crossfire lines from and into the Citadel and everything. Now if Rumpelstiltskin going towards the Citadel with Classical going for an early spot, and Days together with the Street Wagons and the Type 71 heading towards the base A section. We have Classical going for a very aggressive spot, which we've seen happen before, and then it did not go really well for them. Da Silva holds. Performance has not actually been spotted going there. That's interesting. He's like stuck between a rock and a hard place now. Now he has been spotted. Performance takes a hit, but so does Da Silva. Classical does not get punished for spotting the way he did. Lots of shots happening, but so far it's mainly Orca that is paying the price for peeking out. And he's not looking too healthy. We do see some shots happening. Days taking it on the Citadel there. HP wise, there's only like 400 points between them. Neither team has gotten a cap. That base B cap last game made all the difference, and now both teams are more or less stuck. Tackles takes a hit. Orca is putting back further. Rumpelstiltskin loses a bit of HP. Serenity is attempting to cap base A with Days basically diverting them. Base C is being capped, but not quite. It's actually TQT pushing here. They're going after the Kranwagens. Destiny in trouble. Does get another shot in, but now they're both on the long reload. Destiny gets taken out first. Performance is very low on HP. Nicolade wants to not be there anymore, but he does get tracked, and that slows him down quite literally. Destiny Liberty not looking too healthy. Nicolade gets set on fire. Performance is out. Nicolade does get taken out after that. Now we have Da Silva in trouble. Destiny Liberty does get taken out by Daisy. Orca not looking too healthy either. Tackles slowly but surely being farmed, but not selling his skin cheaply. And now we have Ashol pulling back, trying to make sure that Ashol stays alive. And so far that's happened exactly that way. I'm losing people. There we are. Orca still alive, but not got for long. Does get another hit in. Rumpelstiltskin goes out. And there goes Orca. And there goes Days. And now we only have Alpha left. Versus too many tanks. He pulls back. But there's just no way he can survive this and take home the victory. Too many guns. Too much HP. He does get another hit in. But it's Nico that takes him out. And the game is for TQT. And now Like this, again, it was a very hesitant game, but from both sides. And then TQT started pushing and Serenity was too far apart to really support each other. The Kranwagens went down very quickly together. And that's because of I'm not saying that they were in a bad position, mind you. But that's kind of like TQT knew where to push. Because those two would be not necessarily easy, but the easiest to take out. So we're now getting ready for Dynasty Sprawl. Potential match point for TQT. If TQT wins this, then they are through to the top 4. Whereas Serenity can't make that anymore. But if they win, then basically the top 2 is wide open for this group. 50 seconds left to go before we go into that battle. We see the German steel being taken out. TQT taking 2 VK72s versus 1 mouse and a VK72 for Serenity. We see a nice 4 and a 60p for TQT. Another VK72 for Serenity, together with the Type 71, a 113 and a 60p. And whichever tank Destiny decides to take. You only have like 70 seconds left though, so it would be good to ready up. There we go, 3 E5s, a nice 4 and 60p and 2 VK72s for TQT. And a 60p, 2 Type 71s, 2 VK72s, a mouse and a 113 for Serenity. Here we go. The thing is, even though I know Serenity can't reach the top 4 anymore, I still get like this little thing like, maybe if they win. And I know that's not the case. But I like it when things aren't decided yet. When anything can still happen. TQT focusing on the base A side. Only sending Ashel to the other side. Whereas Serenity is doing the same, but the other way around. Going towards base C on force. Sending Orca, who's gotten spotted and spotted the 2 VK72s, and decides that he does not really want to be here anymore. Which is probably a very good idea. Days heading into the middle. Da Silva. Oof, Destined Liberty. Losing the first bits of HP. And Serenity is pushing on a little bit. Not going for the base there, but going for Ashel. Shots being taken. Destiny and the Silver both lost some HP. Ashel being pushed. And we have TQT responding. Turning around to deal with them. Tackles taking a hit for that. And now we have the Silva going into base B. Pushing through it to get behind Ashel to take out that gun. And he does do that. We have... Oh, now TQT is pushing. The Silva needs to not be there anymore. Daze is not looking too healthy. They are being pushed on that side. We have Nicolade arriving behind there. Big hits before... Ooh, oh! That was brutal. Performance. Not long for this world either. If this pens. Daze. That's got taken out as well along with performance. But that is 3 guns from TQT gone. All the shots are massively important now. Any bounce can make all the difference now. Da Silva gets taken out. I've lost my camera. There we go. Destined Liberty goes down. It is 5v2. And that shot being blocked by Rimpelstiltskin is not going to help. Rimpelstiltskin now the only one left alive. And it is for sure Serenity's game. We have Orca going in for the hug. We have Spitfires joining in the hug. Beautiful carnage. Oh, that's one for the highlights, guys. Beautiful game. Rumpelstiltskin being a boss though. Look at that damage. But overall, Serenity convincingly winning this match. And now it's 3-2 and we're getting ready for the second game on Dynasty Sprawl. And again, anything can still happen, but if TQT wins any match now, then they get the point. And now we see TQT taking no less than 5 VK72s. Oh no, sorry, 4 VK72s. A 215B, a 60p and a Super Conqueror versus 2 60Ps, 2 Type 71s and 3 VK72s. VK72s are very popular right now. 53 seconds left to go before we go into the 6th game of this best of 7. And I have to say, we are definitely getting our money's worth, aren't we? I mean, it's been a beautiful season so far. And honestly, matches like these, they're fun. They're fun. And like I said, for Serenity, it's all about honor right now. Basically, they can't win to go to the top 4, but they can win for the honor of it. Whereas there's a lot of pressure for TQT here, but at the same time, they still have an advantage. If they win the next game, then they've got the point. Serenity has to do that with 2 games before that happens. And let's see. Here we go. Onto the panda map. And the thing is, that's also gotta be frustrating because you're facing Serenity. You know that they can't make it to the top 2. But they can potentially keep you out of it. Serenity heading towards the base A section. Whereas Classical is all alone there. And this could be interesting. Nicolade gets spotted. No one else does though. And they're both holding. First shot being fired, no damage being done. And we have the rest of the basic. Look at that. TQT stacking their tanks in the spawn. Only the VK72s have been brought out. And I think that is to make sure that basically they can go anywhere. As in, the Super Conqueror and the 215B and the 60B can go wherever the VK72s need them to be. No bases have been kept. The 60Ps are also lying in wait in the middle. And now we have Days pulling back again a little bit, having driven down some of the cover things. And basically, nothing is happening. This is very still made. They are trying to see where everyone is. I do think at some point they will have to make a move and some base has to be taken. Nicolade going forwards very hesitantly. Days going up the ramp, the P. And now we have Serenity going for the base, being very careful. Days has been spotted, but he's also spotted 2 of the VKs. And they're still like very patiently holding everywhere. And now we see TQT making a move. Nicolade, both take a hit. Nicolade has to be careful not to lose much HP. And he does take another hit there. And now we have TQT moving in. Nicolade in trouble. The 60Ps might not arrive in time. They are still heading there. Nicolade is... Oh, Nicolade got absolutely deleted there. That was a trap. It was a long distance trap, but it was still a trap. Nico not looking too healthy either. Da Silva not going for the base. Nico gets taken out. And we have the Type 71s now being pushed by many, many tanks. They have to be careful. Serenity is responding, going after Destiny Liberty, but they are going to lose their Type 71s. And they have to... Oof, Destiny is gone. This is the thing when you have tanks that have such long reloads, though. Rumpelstiltskin gets is now the next preferred target for the 60TP and the VKs from Serenity. Whereas Tackles might still get another shot, and he does do that, but that's going to be the last shot that he gets. Ooh, he might actually kill... No, he does not get the kill, the Super Conqueror. It is 5v4. Spitfires has to be careful. There goes Rumpelstiltskin. And now we have Spitfires trying to turn around without getting shot. Da Silva is gone. Oh, beautiful focus fire here. Classical should go down. He does go down. 3v3. Spitfire's taking a big hit there. And now we have 3 long reload tanks versus not so long reload, but a lot less armor. Orca pulling back. Spitfire is not looking too healthy, but joining in with the capping. And mainly just trying to get out of there alive. Days holding. A and B are both Serenities. We have Ashel there. Days has to be careful not to get too aggressive. Big hits. And now that allows Orca. Oh, Ashel has been taken out. Days has the armor. He has the advantage of the angle. Basically, he's being pushed in his face rather than angled. But now we have Orca also arriving. Performance is almost gone. 900 points. Orca arriving. Spitfire still getting shots in. There goes Days. And Performance. And now El Capone is going after Spitfires. And he probably will get that kill. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, it's Spitfires that takes the kill instead. What a game. Fantastic. Definitely our money's worth here. Again, very patient, but then sort of aggressive. And all those VKs though. And now we get ready for the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker on Faust, which happens to be one of my favorite maps as well. 3v3. Anything can still happen. And I think it's safe to say that I won't need to show you any replays until while we wait for the final scores. Because we get a tiebreaker. And how... I mean, like, I get that it's very stressful for the team, but for me as streamer, and I hope for you as viewer, getting many games, and the games being relatively close and intense, that just, it makes it chef's kiss, you know? I love it. 50 seconds left to go. Tanks are being chosen. And we see Serenity sticking with the German steel, taking 2 of them this time. Whereas TQT is taking 2 60TPs, an AMX 54, 2 E5s, potentially 3, and an IS-7. Versus 2 VK72s, 1 Steve, a Type 71, another Type 71, another AMX 54 for TQT, 3 VK70. There you have. Ready up! Oh my god! Da Silva! Ready up! Don't do that to me, honestly. But there we go. 3 VK72s, 1 Type 71, an LT, a Steve, and a 60p versus 2 60Bs, 2 AMAX 54s, an IS7, and 2 E5s. Honestly, can you imagine, like, Da Silva not readying up in time? That was too close. So you have TQT heading towards the A-ish side. Probably hoping to catch Orca unawares. No, they're going for base B. Only Rumpelstiltskin and this Liberty are going up. Orca going for the quick cap, which makes sense. C is being capped. D is not being capped. And the tank's heading towards A. This is a trap. Look at that. Look at that. And his best chance is to get up there and survive. He's not gotten spotted. Da Silva is there as well. This trap did not quite work out as they intended, I think. First shots have been taken. The VK72s are arriving. Performance side scraping here. Whereas we have Nico and Classical in the middle. Big hit into Nico. He does not really have support there. And now we have the AMAXs arriving as well. Da Silva is the preferred target. El Capone gets set on fire. Da Silva yeah, he is definitely the first one gone. And now we have Serenity. That's Nicolay taking a massive hit here. Destin Liberty also. They're going after Classical. Days, I think, meant to crush him, but that did not quite work out that way. Destiny not looking too healthy here. Does get another hit in, but it's going to go down now. Ooh, he actually stays alive. No, never mind. And now we have Spitfires shooting Nico. The focus fire is not quite there for Serenity right now. Nicolade gets taken out. Basically, Serenity is literally surrounded by TQT here. Tacos has been taken out. 3v6. Orca does get another hit in, but kind of needs to not be there anymore. Rumpelstiltskin, ooh, manages to stay alive, but is being rammed to death now. He does land another shot, but is going to go down. No, he survives another round here. However short that it might be. And there goes Orca and Daze and Spitfire's the last one left. I'm gonna see if I can actually stay beneath here. But there he goes. And the game is for TQT. In the end, very decisive victory for TQT here. And definitely congratulations, because I do believe that that means that they are through. Let me have a look. APA won, so they won all rounds. Rejects won, so they are through as well. So APA and Rejects are in the top 4. And now we have Aqua, who's won as well, so they are through. This is not quite... Is this true? Like, I believe 1, 2, 3... No, look at that. 4, 5, 6 points. It's just not updated yet, so they will have 6 points as well. That means that Aqua and TQT and Rejects and APA are all through to the top 4. That means that it's pretty much decided, at least. Like, there's no tiebreakers in the like that you have to look at all the head-to-head games and everything. But yeah, that's it. That is the top 4. Top 4 is starting. Let me have a quick look. It doesn't actually say that there. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, March 15th, which is Wednesday, is when the final stages will begin. So we all get a few days off, literally 2 days off. Massive congratulations to our basically group, well, the finalists for the winter season: APA, Rejects, Aqua, and TQT. So that's it for me for now. Thank you so much for the lovely gameplay that we saw tonight between TQT and Serenity. Those matches did definitely not disappoint. The crushing on Disney Dynasty Sprawl is definitely a good tour moment. I am going back to screenshot that and share that in the tour channel. So thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had a lovely weekend. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your evening. Massive thank you to all the fantastic teams that we've seen these round robins. It's been phenomenal. And yeah, thank you for watching. Wish you all a very good evening and good night.